Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Disruptive Investing. It's a billion Teslabots. Let's just jump right in here. So humans are funny, aren't we? I mean, very few of us have any kind of real imagination. I don't mean to offend you watching. Maybe you're one of the few who have an active imagination, but most humans have had it beaten out of us.
Quiet! Sit up straight. Stop daydreaming. Focus on the boring assignment in front of you. I just photocopied it.
It's funny because we're the only animal species that we know of that actually has an imagination at all. And everything humankind has invented has come from our imagination. Wheels and fire and refrigerators and tennis shoes. They might seem obvious today, but it took a person imagining each of these things to bring them to life. So I think it's funny that this video that Elon posted a few days ago has had such an impact on so many people.
What's the big deal? It's just an Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot, doing a pretty mediocre job of folding a t-shirt. Now, I say mediocre, it's better than I can fold a t-shirt. But, I mean, it's something that a 6-year-old can do.
I mean, it's not like the dancing routines we've seen Boston Dynamics demonstrate with their robots.
It's just laundry folding.
I mean, we've been watching movies for decades that have humanoid robots doing all kinds of things, saving people from evil empires to seducing humans. What is it about this laundry video that excites our imagination?
I think it's because for the first time in the history of humans, a company has actually made a machine that can do this.
Now, we know that robot arms can weld automobile parts together if you build a giant factory with tracks that carry each car part through the factory at just the right speed and to the precise location where the robot arm can do this repetitive task, like spot welding to it. But what we saw Optimus do, take a rumpled t-shirt out of a laundry basket and fold it, well, that's like what we humans do every day. That t-shirt wasn't delivered to Optimus in a specific jig by a conveyor belt. What Optimus just did there is mundane. It's human. And it's something I'd say 99% of us would be happy not to do. I think it gets the imagination flowing on even the least imaginative of us. Hey, if Optimus can fold my laundry, just fold my laundry, I'd have like an extra 20 minutes a week to do something else. And then you start to think, wait a minute, Optimus can fold laundry. It can probably put the laundry in the washing machine too. And it can probably then put it in the dryer. That's like another half hour of my week saved. And why stop there? Most of us are probably thinking about other mundane and fairly simple tasks that Optimus could do for us. Sweep the floor, vacuum the carpet, put away the groceries, load the dishwasher, empty the dishwasher, scrub the pots and pans, water the plants, clear the dishes from the kitchen table, make me a sandwich, get me a beer, answer the door, walk the dog, get the mail, shovel the walkway after a snowstorm. I could keep going. That's the first time in human history that we've been able to contemplate someone other than ourselves or a family member or a paid employee or a slave doing these regular daily tasks for us. And what is one of the most valuable commodities?
Our time.
We've discussed this on previous videos about Optimus. It's very possible that once Tesla gets up to scale production of Optimus, that Optimus will cost less than $4 an hour to operate, including electricity and the capital cost of buying or leasing it from Tesla. Now, would you be willing to pay $4 an hour to have Optimus do all those tasks for you that I just listed?
I don't know. I would.
Me too.
I subscribe to, Netflix for God knows how much a month. What is it now? Like $21 a month? And that's like with ads.
Yours comes with ads?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane. They're like, "Did you want the ads and the non-ads?" And you're like, damn it. Used to just get a DVD in the mail, but we ruined it.
So last week, Elon responded to this tweet. David said, we should be expecting 1 billion humanoid robots on Earth in the 2040s and 100 billion, mostly alien robots, throughout the solar system in the 2060s. And Elon responded,
probably something like that, provided the foundations of civilization are stable.
So now we have the guy who is bringing us Optimus, Elon Musk, saying that it's conceivable that 1 billion Optimi, could be walking around the planet in 15 to 20 years. The human workforce that uses its legs to do its job is somewhere around 2 billion people today. So what we're essentially talking about here is what we've been positing for the past couple of years. Tesla Bot is going to replace human labor. Now, the ramifications of this statement are probably bigger to the future of humans than any technological disruption since the invention of, let's say, fire. It's not really a question of whether people will choose to have a Tesla Bot. It'll be more of a question of how many will you be able to afford? Because you won't be able to afford not to have at least one. Just like today, it's not a question of whether you'll get a smartphone or a refrigerator or an air conditioner. It's only a question of which one or how many. So stop thinking in terms of whether people will want Tesla bots. As a disruptive investor, you have to start trying to wrap your head around the implications of a world with hundreds of millions, if not billions, of Tesla bots. How will this disruption that is unfolding in front of our eyes affect existing businesses? What new businesses will it create? What will humans do with the new free time that they have? How will this affect human societies and culture? Will it make us more peaceful, or will we use our new robots as weapons? Will we have more privacy or less? Will humans start to enjoy folding laundry again when we no longer have to? Now, if we're talking over $104 trillion, which is what the World Bank estimates the global GDP is today, then Tesla Bot will be creating more wealth than humankind has ever seen, and it will be happening practically overnight. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, then first, a disclaimer. We're not financial advisors. Do your own research. Investing involves risk. But think about this for a second. We're talking about a product that every human on the planet is going to want. And it'll be a valuable product, easily worth $50,000, but which will cost Tesla way less than that to make at scale. Anyone with a Tesla bot will be able to make a lot of money with it. And at the moment, only one company on Earth has the engineering capability both to design it, make it profitably at scale, and produce the AI software to allow it to learn and move around in real space in real time with just its cameras. Once one Tesla bot learns how to complete a task, all Tesla bots will also know how to complete that task. Will Tesla remain the only company that will be able to produce these humanoid robots? Probably other companies will reverse engineer a lot of Optimus, but I'll bet dollars to donuts that Tesla will not only be the first, but remain the leading robot manufacturer for years, if not decades to come, just like Elon has done with Tesla and SpaceX and Starlink, etc. So as a disruptive investor, don't listen to the financial analysts when they try to value Tesla as a car company. It's not a car company, really. Try to wrap your head around what Elon and Tesla are doing and use that most human of skills. Use your imagination.
And I really liked what you said, the leading robot manufacturer, because we haven't heard that term before. Robot manufacturer, while there are some, KUKA and stuff like that, we don't really think about them on a daily basis because they're just selling their stuff to factories. And we as mere mortal, normal humans don't really interact with factories that much unless we work in one. And if we work in one, we're only dealing with like 12 robots. So we're not really thinking about like, these are robots and I'm going to buy robots. You're not really thinking that way unless you're the person who owns and controls that factory. Mm-hmm. And most of us aren't those people. Most, especially us little investors, we don't necessarily think that way. And so we're just used to hearing financial analysts throw around terms like car manufacturers. Okay, when Tesla is going to be the leading robot manufacturer, then all of a sudden we're going to get to go, oh, yes, robot manufacturing. It's a very profitable business. But at the moment, do you think that way? No, you don't really think about robot manufacturers.
Well, and they're not that profitable. The funny thing is, I looked into it a few years ago. I'm like, I should invest in KUKA and other big brands like this. They barely make a profit because they're all making the same thing. An arm that moves around and gets installed in the factory. They're only people that can buy them are people that are already running big factories.
Because another huge part behind that is that the software.
Right.
It's not like you put the robot in the factory and it goes, "Hi, boss, what do you need me to do?" And you say, "You're going to weld up car bodies." And it says, "You got it. I'll get right on that." No, the robot arm stares at you blankly. It doesn't have any smarts whatsoever. You have to sit there at a computer or hire someone who's pretty darn smart to sit there at a computer, make something that's going to not only, and then it'll come in and do this. But then if someone else was like, but wait, what if it came in like this? Wouldn't it be faster?
Well, and as soon as you change one part in your production, you have to reprogram the robot to handle that new part.
Right. So you can't just hire some dude off of Fiverr to set it up for you.
No. So and you got to constantly be working on it.
This is where the difference in the Tesla bot comes in, because the Tesla bot will have AI. So when the part comes in at a 7-degree angle offset,
or your T-shirt comes in inside out,
yes, it's going to be able to figure that out for you. And maybe the first iterations of the folding software, if that's even how it's going to work, maybe it won't recognize the T-shirt's inside out, and it's just going to fold it for you, put it in your laundry, and you're going to put it on. You're going to go, oh darn it, my T-shirt's inside out. But I'm pretty sure that in a few iterations, the AI is going to be able to realize, just like you realize, you look around the shirt. Oh, there's the tag. I better flip this inside out. I don't know. It's just we haven't allowed ourselves to think about this.
Nope.
Because I think we've all been scared.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, it's been beaten out of you by your teachers. It happened to me as well, where it's not like they say like your imagination isn't worth anything. They don't have to say that. They just have to continue to give you worksheets and do just the normal school stuff. And it's going to get beaten out of you. And then you go into the workforce and it's going to get beaten out of you there.
Right.
People don't enjoy imagination that much.
Well, and Tesla is one of the only companies that actually rewards it.
Yes.
They give you a task to do and they don't tell you how to do it. It's up to you and your imagination to figure out a great solution.
And we've heard of this from lots of ex-Tesla employees who you just see their brains are working differently. Mm-hmm. Like, when I see Farzad Metzbahi, his brain's just working differently.
Exactly.
And in a good way. I really do think he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to be thinking a little bit more outside the box. And you go, how is that? Well, it's because he got into this culture and he got changed by it.
Look at Tesla's Gigafactory for a second. I watch it being built almost every day. And at one point, a few weeks ago, they just started changing the whole end of the factory. There was windows there. They got rid of them. And normally you'd be like, oh my God, they failed horribly. They're actually adding on an extension to the building. And when I've shown this to people, they're like, so Tesla didn't know what the fuck they were doing? No, Tesla said, hey, there's a good idea here. Let's just change it. It costs money, but why not? Whereas most companies would be like, well, that's not in the plan. So
that would take up room in the parking lot. We can't really, we talked to people and they said that we couldn't do it.
And now Elon's using one of his other companies, the Boring Company, to build a tunnel from across the highway so that they can move their cars that way. And that's, again, imagination.
Yeah. You might be saying like, so you're saying I should invest in Tesla? I'm not. I'm just trying to kind of reorient your brain into what the future is going to look like, because nobody else is telling you this in your life, which is scary. It's really scary to me that nobody else, for the most part in your life, is going to be talking to you about like, oh yeah, robots are going to be a thing, because obviously they're going to be a thing. Look at all the advancements we've had in technology in the past 20 years. And you don't think that humanoid robots are going to exist just because why? Just because you saw the Terminator fucking 20, 30 years ago and you're going like, well, but that was science fiction 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was 1982. Yeah.
My God. So, I mean, yeah, we're in the future now. We're going to have robots. Whether or not you think you should invest in Tesla, there are going to be lots of opportunities when it's like, hey, instead of having a whole bunch of people having to put a roof on a house, it can now be robots. And so all that insurance that you're normally paying for when you're buying a roof to put on your house, you don't have to pay, because you don't have to worry about some guy falling off, maiming himself, and having to need to be taken care of for the rest of his life. We don't have to, if the robot falls and breaks in half, we go, put it back together, or oops, let's go buy another robot.
Now, I hear you right now. You're like, well, where do I go to even talk about this stuff? And I got an answer for you. We have an investor club. It's at our Patreon. And there's a lot of smart people there. We have a Slack where we talk about this stuff every day. And so if you're like, I would love to find a community of like-minded people who understand that the world is going to change, well, we built it for you.
We didn't build it. Our amazing community did. And it's nice. We've somehow been able to filter out all the random whack job loser jerks who would normally take your time and obliterate it, because you would say like, so what do you think about robots? And they'd go, robots are going to exist. There's no such thing as robots. I don't know why he's German, but oh, okay. I guess, all my creativity is now destroyed and I'm going to just go crawl back into a hole, as opposed to being able to have a conversation where you're going like, that's interesting. So you think that the robots are going to be able to do surgery?
Exactly.
I personally don't think that they're going to be able to do surgery. I think that that's going to be something, left for other things. Okay, I think that'll be a specialist robot, which will cost more money. Great, that's a conversation that we can have, as opposed to the normal people that you run into in your daily life who go like, that's a different idea. La 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 la. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. My brain, cognitive dissonance. I can't deal with it. Yeah. So that's what we hope to bring over on our investor club. We have a lot of really intelligent people over there, and it's a joy to be able to have conversations.
Yeah, so help support the work we do. Head on over to patreon.com/nowyouknow. Support us for as little as $1 a month. For $10 a month, you can join our investor club. You get to meet CEOs and founders of companies. You get to hang out with us on live streams. You get access to our Slack and our weekly bonus stories that we only put up there for you.
So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you support us. We'll see you next week. Now you know.